Hi everyone, and welcome to issue 1 of Bag and Board. I mentioned during my last video, which was uploaded just a few days ago, that I wasn't going to be doing so many videos at the moment, mainly because I'm not going to be doing a weekly pull, and I'm going to be concentrating, or trying to concentrate, on picking up less modern books and some more like classic runs, that kind of thing. So what I decided to do was kind of find a brand for the videos that I'm doing, because if you're doing odd videos where you've got kind of different things to show, it's difficult to come up with a snazzy title for each one. So I thought if I try and come up with something that's like comic related, because everything that I show in my videos, even if it's not comics themselves, it will be related to comics in some way. So I was trying to think of something that like encompasses comics, and I thought Bag and Board would be a good name for the show. And each video that I upload will be given a new issue number, as it is with comics. So this is Bag and Board issue 1. If you think it's a really naff name, please let me know in the comments. And if I get an overwhelming sack of tomatoes thrown at me, I know it's a load of rubbish, so we'll come up with something else. But for the time being, Bag and Board it is. I've got quite a lot to show you today, so you better strap in and hopefully enjoy the ride. It's mainly comics, but I've also got something that I was very kindly sent a few weeks ago. When I went to the London Film and Comic Con, I was contacted by a guy called Anthony from New York, who asked me to give him some help in getting a CGC signature series of a copy of Wolverine done, because Tyler Mane, who played Sabretooth in the original X-Men film, was going to be attending the con, and he really wanted to get a signed comic that was CGC'd. Anyway, I gave him a little bit of help getting that done, and he came back with a CGC 9.0. Anyway, during October, just before New York Comic Con, Anthony contacted me and said, look, I'm going to be doing helping out with witnessing signatures for CGC at New York Comic Con, and he asked me if there was anything I wanted picking up. Well, what I like to do when I go to cons is I like to pick up one of the guidebooks or the programs and get it signed by as many people as possible. So I said to Anthony, well, if there's any chance, I know you're going to be busy, but if you can pick up one of the programs from the con, and as you're going around witnessing signatures, if there's any chance you can get it signed by anybody, that'd be amazing. And I said, just let me know how much it's going to be. Anyway, a couple of weeks later, I got an email from Anthony with a photograph, and he'd sent me a photograph of the program that he'd got with all the signatures. Didn't want any money for it or anything, even for postage. So I'm just massively grateful to Anthony. So on the off chance that you're watching, I've already thanked you anyway, but again, a massive thank you. And this is what Anthony sent me. While I'm showing that, I'll just quickly read out the people who've actually signed this. Bob Layton, Cliff Chang, Jim Chung, Jerome Pena, Eric Larson, Joe Rubenstein, Lee Weeks, Dexter Vine, Shane Davis, Walt Simonson, Louise Simonson, and Michael Golden. So that's a heck of a lot of signatures. And it's a really nice program actually. It's quite thick. I've not had a chance to read it yet, but there's quite a lot of, as well as information about the comic itself, there's just loads of interesting stuff in there. So I'm really looking forward to having a good read of that. So again, Anthony, massive thank you for that. Right, I've got a big fat stack of comics now. There's all sorts of stuff here. What I'm going to start with is just around the corner from where I work. I've mentioned before that there's like a game shop that does a lot of kind of Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that how you pronounce it? That kind of stuff. Anyway, whenever you go in there, there's loads of people with long hair and spotty faces sat around playing these games. But they also do some comics. Not a lot, but I think they regularly, or maybe not regularly, but every now and again get people taking bundles of comics in that they just want to get rid of. So I do go in every couple of weeks or so to take a look, just in case there's any decent stuff in there. And I have actually in the past picked up some nice Batman issues, so it's worth a look. Anyway, I didn't get anything startling, but I did get, and these were 50 pence, got a copy of an image book, which is Lethal #1. Not exactly when this is from, I think it's obviously the 90s, and it's a Rob Liefeld cover, so 50 pence, going to give it a read. And then another image book I picked up, and I did pick this up specifically. It's another #1, and it's Exposure. The reason I picked this up is because the artwork's by Al Rio, and I really like Al Rio's artwork, so looking forward to giving that a read as well. Now, quite a few of the people who I am friends with on Facebook have been picking up some of the Judge Dredd books that have been released recently, and have been giving quite a lot of high praise and recommendations to these. So I'm a bit late to the party on this, but I did pick up this second printing of Dredd Underbelly, which is a one-shot. These I got, I think, from Forbidden Planet, who I don't normally use, but sometimes you just have to do a deal with the devil. So I picked up that, and then issue 1 of the 2-issue Uprise story. I really like these black and white sketch covers, and this was actually signed here by, I think, the cover artist, so that's really nice. And then there's also a mini-series going on at the moment called Anderson PSI or Psi Division, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. So I've picked up issue 1, which is the subscriber variant. Issue 2, which is the regular cover. And issue 3, which again is the subscriber variant. I believe issue 4 is out in December, so I'm keeping a lookout for that. Another oddment that I picked up was Hero Comics 2014, which I believe they produce every year for the Comic Book Legal Defence Fund, and I only picked this up really because it's got a J. Scott Campbell cover, which is really nice. Excuse me if I'm a bit nasally today, I feel like I'm getting a cold. Right, the next things I want to show you is I do go on Kickstarter quite a lot to see what the latest comic projects are that are being funded on there. And one of the things that I've been funding on a regular basis is a comic called The Mighty Titan by Joe Martino, and the latest one that I received my rewards for is issue 3. So that's issue 3, which is signed by Joe. And this is the, and this is the variant cover, which I absolutely love, by Francesco. So that's really nice. And then they also sent some art prints, which I've just stuck in the bag here. This is the one that I like the most. So that's really nice. I've still got my issue 4 to come, and then issue 5 has just recently achieved its funding goal, so hopefully that'll be coming out fairly soon as well. Right, an oddment that I picked up, I picked this up off eBay, was just this simple sketch of She by Billy Tucci. Obviously She is the character that he's really well known for, and this was going up, I think there were 2 sketches that were slightly different, just done on a plain backing board, but I picked this up for about £3, so I was really happy with that. Right, the next thing I want to show you is some variants. This one I only picked up because I really like the cover, and it's Superior Iron Man #1, and it's the Rocket Raccoon and Groot variant, and I like it because it's obviously paying tribute to the classic Iron Man cover, the Demon in a Bottle cover. I just thought it was really good. So I'm not going to read this. I'm not really a big fan of Iron Man, but I just really like the cover. And then I've got some other variants. My local comic shop has started selling variants for regular cover price. I think they've kind of realised that people aren't really in the market to pay £25 or £30 for a variant cover, which has just been released. So a lot of the variants now, he just sells for cover price. So what I tend to do is he puts the new releases on the website for the following Wednesday. He puts them on the website round about the Friday or Saturday. So as soon as they've been posted, I go on, see if there's anything that I'm interested in, and then pick it up for cover price. So the ones that I've got are Batman #36, which is the Kubert variant. Spider-Verse #1. Amazing Spider-Man #10. This is the Gabriel Del Otto variant. Spider-Woman #1. And then a couple of variants that I've picked up at regular price because I liked the covers were Thor #1. This is the Midtown Comics variant. I think it's by Paul Renault, if memory serves me right. And then one cover, when I first saw it, I thought, I just got to get this. And it was a bit tricky to get, but eventually I managed to pick up a copy from Limited Edition Comics. And I know people who are friends with me on Facebook, they'll know that I said I wasn't going to go anywhere near Axis, but when I saw this cover, I had to pick this up. This is the Mike Mayhew Midtown Comics variant, and I just think it's stunning. Absolutely beautiful. And then issue 2 of Axis came out, and I saw this Mahmoud Azra variant. I love Scarlet Witch, one of my favourite characters. So basically, if Scarlet Witch is involved, I've got to get a copy. So I was suckered into this. This was another full price one. This wasn't from my local comic shop, unfortunately. But then, my local comic shop was going to get issue 5 variant in for cover price. So I had to pick that up with Medusa on the cover. And I also picked up issue 6 variant for cover price. So I have 6 issues now of a series that I said there was no way I was going to go anywhere near it. I've actually picked up 4 issues. But simply on the back of the covers. Now, onto some more eBay purchases, and we're getting into the really, really good stuff now. Some of the older stuff. This one I picked up almost next to nothing. This is Superboy in the Legion of Superheroes, and it's number 226. And the reason that I picked up this is it's the first appearance of Dawnstar. But again, really, really nice cover. Something else I've been meaning to pick up for quite a while, but I've just been waiting to get it at the right price, and also in the kind of condition I want, because when I'm getting these older books, I'm really, really concentrating on trying to get as high grade as possible, but at a reasonable price without paying stupid money. So I did at last manage to get a copy of Harley Quinn #1. Obviously not a first appearance, but it is the first solo book featuring Harley Quinn. and this is the one that's done by the Dodsons. A lot of these are in Mylar, so I'm hoping that you're going to be able to see them okay. Right, I mentioned that what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and start collecting some classic series and also some really, really famous runs of comics. One of the series that I want to collect, even though I've got the book probably about three different times, is Watchmen. So I've actually begun collecting the Watchmen series, and I've picked up issue 1. And again, these are really nice copies. And issue 2. And one of the runs that I'm going to try and start picking up, you might already be aware that I'm working at the moment on Frank Miller's Daredevil, and I'm going to do a separate video for that because I think I've picked up about 13 or 14 issues so far. So my next video will be my Frank Miller Daredevils. Another series that I'm looking at trying to collect is the Chris Claremont and John Byrne run on Uncanny X-Men. I've got number 141 and 142 in CGC, which you may have already seen, and they are the Days of Future Past storyline. I think, can't remember off the top of my head, but I think the Claremont and Byrne run started at about issue 108 and goes through to 143. So I'm going to try and collect all those. I did pick up a couple during the week, which are from the Dark Phoenix saga, and I don't mind telling you how much I paid for these because I paid £6 each, and they are in, when they arrived I was a bit worried about what they were going to be like, but they are in superb condition. So I've got issue number 134, which is a really nice cover. I love the way that Mylar just brings out the colour in comics, it's just brilliant. And a really, really classic cover, issue 136. This is actually the image that's used on the cover of my, I think it's the 30th edition hardcover collection of the Dark Phoenix saga, which I've got. But it's an absolutely brilliant cover, amazing. And from a different seller, I picked up another 2 copies from the Claremont and Byrne run. These aren't part of the Dark Phoenix, it's what followed. So there's issue 140. These are in also really good condition, but I would say they're probably just one notch down from the previous 2 that I showed you. One of them, which is the next one, has got a very small kind of watermark on the back cover, but otherwise they're in really, really good condition. So that's 140. And this is 143, and this is actually the very last issue that John Byrne and Terry Austin were involved in. Chris Claremont carried on as the writer of Uncanny X-Men, but obviously brought different artists on board. So that's the last one in the run that involved all of them. So that's it for issue 1 of Bag and Board. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed what I've had to show you. Feel free to like or dislike the video, and if you're not a subscriber, I'd love to have you on board. Press the subscribe button, and that's it. If you've got any comments you want to leave, just leave them down there. I'd be particularly interested in what you think of the name. If it sucks, just let me know and I'll come up with something else. But until next time, hopefully in the next day or so, it'll be my Frank Miller Daredevil run. So until then, take care, enjoy your comics, and I'll see you later.